piece at birth, another one when he enters school, and a third at his marriage.
Shannons take care of their own. You should know that, Stan.
Mr. Shannon, I appreciate all you've done for all of us. But I still want the deed to my land.
You want to what?
When my father came out here to work the land, it was supposed to belong to him.
I don't want to hear anymore.
We've got a record of everything in our family Bible, except we don't have a record of ownership.
Tchaikovsky! Shamrock is mine. You hear that? It is mine. It was built by my father and was given to me. And neither you nor anybody else is going to break it up into 10-acre farms.
I'm only asking for what's mine.
You forget it. Forget all about ownership and deeds, and don't you ever ask for it again.
I won't. Tomorrow I'll go to Santa Fe. I'll have them ask for me.
Hold up, Tchaikovsky.
You shouldn't have threatened Mr. Shannon.
I just told him what I wanted and how I was going to get it. That's all.
That was enough.
What else do you know about Shannonville, Martha?
Nothing much, I guess. Except the Shannons own everything, give up nothing.
Why are you going, Sam?
A man died of a gunshot wound. We received the report, but it has to be countersigned by an officer of the law.
Oh.
Sam, you won't be welcome up there.
Chances are I won't even see Shannon.
Door's open. You bleeding?
No.
You'll have to wait till I finish shaving.
Well, I won't bother you at all if you could tell me where I could find the sheriff.
We don't have any. You're a marshal?
Uh-huh. My name's Sam Buckhart, from Santa Fe.
Oh, yeah. I sent your office a medical report a couple weeks ago.
Well, that's why I'm here.
You must be that Harvard Apache they pinned a badge on.
Well, I've heard it put less delicately, Doctor.
I was going to go to Harvard. Couldn't afford it, so I took up medicine by mail.
Dr. Pearson, our office received the death certificate from you, but...
I just told you.
But as Stanley Tchaikovsky died of a gunshot wound.
Law says file him, I'll file him.
The law also states it has to be countersigned by an officer of the law.
We don't have any.
Well, if you'd tell me what happened, I could sign it.
Sign it or not, the man's already dead. I can't see what difference it makes.
Did you attend him?
He was dead when I got there.
Well, how about the details, Doctor?
There were 2 bullet punctures in the body. One entered just under the 3rd rib, collapsed the lung. The other shattered the clavicle and tore an arterial vein.
I meant the details about the actual shooting.
I know what you meant, Marshal.
And how about the details? Who was involved?
Now, the bullet entered just under the third rib.
I know exactly what you mean, Doctor.
You don't yet, Marshal, but you will.
I've had a long, hard ride. And going around in circles with you isn't the way I planned to end it. By the way, is there a Mrs. Jakowski?
And a 5-year-old boy. I delivered him in the middle of the night. Now, funny, babies are always born in the middle of the night.
We all have problems, Doctor.
There's a crossroads about 8 miles out of town. Ask anybody.
Thank you.
Oh, Marshal, if I was to tell you what happened, would you go back to Santa Fe?
I might.
Stan Jakowski committed suicide.
Mrs. Jakowski?
Do I know you?
Well, I'm from the Federal Marshal's office in Santa Fe. My name is Sam Buckhart.
I'm going out and wait, Ma.
You go ahead, Paulie. No matter how many times I tell him, he still waits for his father. I can't blame him, so do I.
I realize this is a difficult time for you. I wish I didn't have to intrude. But my job is to investigate your husband's death.
Oh, Marshal, please don't use that word. If you mean murder, say murder. Tracy murdered him. Mr. Shannon's whip.
Did you see the shooting?
No.
We're ready to plow the fields, Helen.
This is the Marshal fellow from Santa Fe. Come to ask how my Stan died.
Oh, we saw it. You agreeable for us to plow the field, Helen?
Well, I'd like a statement from each of you.
Don't ask them. Mike saw it, but you must try to understand that he has a wife and 3 little children of his own. Sean has a sick mother and father, and who's to take care of them? And Jan loved my husband like they were brothers. What was it you said? Oh, yes, too old to start over from nothing.
We'll water the stock before we leave, Helen.
Wait.
Leave them alone!
Mrs. Jakowski, those men saw your husband die.
Is that any reason for them to die?
The law will protect them.
No. Mr. Shannon's law will bury them.
Tracy.
I've been waiting for a marshal to show up. Who pinned the badge on you?
I'm a United States Deputy Marshal. My name is Sam Buckhart. You're Mr. Shannon?
There must be a shortage of men in government service. Either that or they're paying off Indian grants and jobs instead of money.
I don't think that's very clever, Mr. Shannon.
Ooh. They even taught you to talk back. Or is that something you learned in your wiki-up?
All right. You've had your limit of insults. I wouldn't try for any more. If you can't show respect for me, show it for the badge.
All right, Marshal, for the badge. A regular marshal wouldn't have wasted his time in town or at the Jakowskis. He'd have come straight to me.
I would have done just that if I knew you were involved.
Anybody can tell you anything happens on Shamrock, I'm involved.
All I want is a man named Tracy, who works for you.
There's no reason for you to see him.
I have a John Doe warrant I'm writing his name on. The charge will be murder.
Tracy,
Yes.
I order you to kill Stan Jakowski.
No, sir.
Now, you drink with me like a friend or you get off my land, Tracy.
Tracy, there are witnesses saw you do it.
Round them up. Let's have a trial.
That's a fine idea, Tracy. Let the accusers step forward and be counted.
They will, before I go back to Santa Fe.
You just ask anybody. Just ask them. And they'll all tell you that Walter Shannon protects his friends. On my world, there are only two kinds of people. They're friends, they're the others. Tracy's my friend.
What are you, Mr. Shannon? With him as a friend, you don't need an enemy.
Charlie, bring me my bottle. I don't like to drink alone.
I don't like to eat alone. This isn't exactly a friendly place.
Oh, it's no better and no worse than a lot.
You may be right, but I've seen a lot better and mighty few worse.
In the 2 days you've been here, what have you learned?
More than I knew when I got here.
There's only one thing you need to know. The Shannons started this town, and they own it and everybody in it.
Including you.
Including me.
You here to turn yourself in, Tracy?
For a college-educated Apache, you're pretty dumb.
It's a matter of opinion.
I happen to be on the right side of Shannon. That makes my opinion pretty smart.
He send you here to kill me?
No.
Don't tell me you thought this up all by yourself.
I'm giving you time to stand up.
I'm not that dumb.
If you want to, your horse is in front. You can take it and don't come back.
Now, you are doing a lot of thinking on your own.
A lot of witnesses here.
Seems that's the way you always do your killing.
If that's an accusation, you're going to have a lot of trouble proving it.
My orders are... bring you in alive if possible, with a legally signed warrant and the testimony of eyewitnesses. So enjoy your freedom while you can, Tracy.
All right.
You all right?
Knee is shattered. You're a good shot if that's where you were aiming. For as long as you stay here, you better keep on shooting that good.
Hello, Paulie. Where's your mother?
Inside.
Good morning.
I told you everything there was, Marshal. Why did you come back?
What's this all about?
Me and the boy are going back east. I have relatives someplace in New York.
I didn't think Shannon would make you run.
Nobody is making me do anything.
But Shannon is still pulling the strings.
He made a fine offer, and I took it.
Mrs. Jakowski, you're leaving something very important behind. The man who killed your husband.
Then I leave him in your care.
Fine, I'll take the responsibility if you'll help me.
I leave on the next stage.
Mrs. Jakowski, you grew up with the men who saw your husband shot. You know them. Which one do I have the best chance with?
Mike. If any, it has to be Mike.
I wish you told me that yesterday.
Yesterdays don't count anymore. Only tomorrow is important.
What about his tomorrows?
That is what I am going to live for.
Mrs. Jakowski, his father and grandfather are buried here. I think the boy has a right to this land.
So he can be buried in it, too?
Paulie, you're a fine, strong boy.
Thank you.
Do you like to play games? Good. If you can run to that well and back before I count 10, you win a prize, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here you are, Paulie. Have a nice trip, Mrs. Jakowski. I hope the boy does you proud.
That game. What were you trying to prove?
Only that he has to be fast. Because once he starts running, he'll never be able to stop.
Morning. You're a hard man to convince, ain't you, Marshal?
Only when I find things hard to believe.
Well, then I don't think you'll believe the reasons.
I might, if they're honest.
Well, if the crops fail, we still eat. If somebody gets sick, Shannon pays the doctor. If a house burns or we get washed out, Shannon builds us a new one.
All it costs you is your freedom.
Look, Marshal, I'd like to see Tracy hang for killing Stan, but not if it means we pay for it.
Why do you let those cheap gun hands scare you?
They don't. We're just protecting ours the best way we know how.
You better learn a new way, because those chains you're wearing aren't going to get any lighter.
You're spending a lot of time in that saddle.
Well, I'm not spending it alone. The guns are seeing to that.
A reminder for those who have to live here after you've gone.
The doctor told me, among other things, you're the justice of the peace. According to law, I'm to deliver this warrant to you.
I owe you an apology. Tracy told me he did kill Stan Tchaikovsky.
Well, for a man who seems to know everything, it took you long enough to find out.
Tracy did what he thought was right for me and for Shamrock. Now, I can't see a man hung for that, can I?
You don't have to do it. The people have a system of courts and trials that seems to work quite well, Shannon.
It's not legal, I know, but that's the way I want it, and that's the way it will be.
The next warrant will call for a trial in Santa Fe.
It's a long way from here, Marshal, and it's getting farther every minute. You caused me a lot of trouble, Tracy. I could have handled Tchaikovsky myself. But now my people are mumbling. They're restless. Got to stop.
I'm sorry.
And you'll stop it.
I'll gun him. I promised you.
That's right. But in town, where everybody will see it. And nobody will ever forget it.
Patched up the pieces of that warrant, Mr. Shannon?
You won't need it. You'll accept my word that Tchaikovsky's shooting was an accident.
My job is to bring Tracy in, not to put a name on him.
Tchaikovsky went for his whip. Now, Tracy was only defending himself.
I suppose you could use that story in court.
Marshal, I'm giving you a chance to back down.
You give so easily, Mr. Shannon, but you put a mighty strong rope on the gifts.
Marshal, I was protecting myself.
Tracy, you're a killer.
You want to prove that in Santa Fe? Make your play, because I'm going to protect myself again.
Tracy, I can't get all three of you. I'm gonna hit the dirt and stay there. But the badge won't. Tell him, Mr. Shannon. Don't let him think on his own. Tell him someone will always follow me. Tell him no matter how many men you bury, there'll be another one on the way.
I'll worry about him when he gets here.
Hurry! Sam! Sam!
Get him out of here. Mrs. Tchaikovsky, would you get out of the way?
Taking everything else away from me.
Can't you see that Shannon is throwing everything he's got into this? He must win. Doesn't matter how many people die, as long as what he stands for lives. Take him home, plant his feet. Teach him to fight for what belongs to him.
Sam, come see me soon?
I will. Bye, Polly. No one is protecting either of us now, Tracy.
What do I do now, Mr. Shannon?
Fight!
Gonna fight them all, Mr. Shannon?
This is yours, Mr. Shannon.
Go on. Leave. Go on, get back to your dirty little shacks, where no one's gonna take care of you. You'll all starve to death. Your babies won't get any doctor. I'll see you rot before I raise a finger to help you. When you come crawling back, I'll laugh in your faces. You come back here. You hear me? I'm giving you one last chance. You come back. Come back.
Welcome home from Shannonville, Sam.
Thank you, Tess. What are you reading?
Oh, nothing much. Just about how gold was discovered, is all. Sam, did Mr. Shannon give you $100 in gold?
No, Tess. Shannon didn't give me a thing. But I gave him something.
What did you give him?
Something to think about, Tess. Something the people of Shannonville never had before. More valuable than all the gold in the world. A chance to breathe some free air.
But it's all around. Didn't they know that?
They do now, Tess.